honoring our past,
celebrating our present.
inspiring our future.
The month of August is being celebrated as Emancipation Month, with August 1 being celebrated as Emancipation Day. And within that month, there is a week that is called Indigenous Peoples Week. And that week runs from the 10th to the 14th of August. Today, we're here at the Kalinago tribe, where we're celebrating the first people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My guest today is Mr. Augustine Sado Sutherland, and he's a Kalinago himself. Sado, would you like to give us a brief introduction?
Mabriga, greetings. My name is Augustine Sutherland, English name, Kalinago name, Igabu Abuma. And this month, or part of this month, we celebrate as the first people or Indigenous people month. So we are here just to do that.
What is the significance of such a month?
Now, born into a Kalinago family, so I will go there first. I born and grew up in Sandy Bay. So this is where the real information and my background began. As a teenager, I grew up in a hostile environment.
When you say hot style, what do you mean?
No, in the days gone by, you have war between nations and villages. Oh, you stupid Sandy Bay Caribs. You know, that is what I mean. So I born in that kind of condition. So it make me hold my ancestors a little tighter. Hence, what I'm doing here today, make it fruitful to my whole soul and body. When it comes to Indigenous people or Carib people, my great-great-grandmother, I think is the oldest to die in St. Vincent de Grenadines, that taught me well, not from a book come from England or France, from the people who come to colonize. No, it's from the belly of my great-great-grandmother. So, from a child to now, I continue in it. So, to be what I is today is what I gather from my great-great-grandmother. To be an Indigenous person, to speak Indigenous. What about Indigenous? Survival, how you live, how you carry yourself. That is about me today.
You know, there's some confusion about the first people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Some people say they're Kalinago, some say they are Garifuna. I would like to know if there's any distinction between both. And who would you say are the first people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Because some people don't know themselves, who they are. And sometimes it's sorry, you know what I mean? It's so different to know, well, you know what I mean? As human, you don't know yourself, you know. You first human, then you become a race of different people. And according to the higher one, we have different tribes. It mentioned, right? So a lot of people don't know which tribe they belongs to. But for me, right, I fully know which tribe I belong.
And what tribe is
The
that?
beginning of human race is out of Africa. Different tribes that come out of Africa is Kalinago, Tianos, Africans, and Indians, and you will find all of them. So for somebody say they don't know who they are, you know what I mean? Sometimes lack of knowledge make you think these things, or people might humiliate you, and because of these things, you get confused. That some people get confused. And according to what they read from the colonizers, it makes them that kind of way, but not me. Now, the difference in St. Vincent with the Kalinago, who say they are Kalinago and who say they are Garifuna, is just this. And I say it all the time. Now, long before slavery, we have African passing on this ocean, going from one place to the next. Before the colonizers, because there was nowhere close here, Africa was closer than them. Africa used the storm to travel. Hurricane that we afraid today. The Africans in the oldies used them time to travel, just like the eagle, just like the birds. So that they follow the birds and the eagle to travel from one place to the next. So this is how the Africans who wasn't slaves reached here before the colonizers. So the people mix, that mixture that take place, it was black Caribs for this region here. Or you have some Tainos that black too. What you will call them? You know what I mean?
What would you call them?
It's Tainos.
Okay.
But them is different colors. You have Indians, it's a different color Indians.
Sure.
Right? But it's Indians. So Kalinago people has a different color. It's Kalinago people. Mm?
Right. So you made mention of lack of knowledge in terms of knowing who we are as a people. A week like this, what do you think should be done in terms of raising awareness about the indigenous people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Education. Education is key for power. And if you have no education, you can't have power. You could have money. Money ain't really power. That's what some people say. But you can have money and you can speak nothing. But
And when you say education, tell me exactly what you mean. How would you go about educating the people?
no, if I have to educate my children or my nation, which I'm doing, I will tell them, our ancestors, this is how they survive. This is how they speak. This is how they travel. This is how they know their God. In that way, I keep putting into them what my great-great-grandparents distilled into me.
So the concept is imparting.
Exactly. The knowledge that you receive from the elders. Now, this knowledge, most of the time, you can't get this from the colonizers' books, which a lot of our people use the colonizers' books to educate their nation. So the nation, their nation, or some of their nation, they're stagnant because it's like you're digging a hole to bury yourself.
So if the education takes place from your part or from the indigenous people's part, then that would be a way of decolonizing the minds of the people.
Exactly, but you know, the colonizers have a different way of recolonizing. So you have to be very careful. It's not just colonize, it's recolonize. And right now as we speak, they are coming with that as well. They try everything to recolonize. And that right now is happening. From the head right down. The universe is like that today. It's happening. It mashed up already. This time it getting messed up.
But with the Kalinago tribe here, I think that is also playing a role in terms of the decolonization process, because here you have a number of things exhibited, and I'm sure that you raise awareness about the first people of our country. What is the purpose of this Kalinago tribe?
The Kalinago tribe, SVG, survived to educate not just Vincentian, because we have people from all part of the Caribbean that's come here for information. So that is what we do. But however, the amount of Vincentian coming out to educate themselves is not enough. To me, what I see happening, like most of the young men and young women today, the recolonizing in alcohol. And it's sad that the young men and young women, this is where they are.
So would you say that there's a lack of interest on our people's part in learning about their cultural heritage?
Yes, there's a lack of interest within this generation. I don't care who am I don't care where I go, I don't care where I come from, I don't care where I eat. That's how it is today, because the West will send the worst of the worst here as food, and they will consume it left, right, and center.
Uh, could it be true, though, that because of certain stigma that was surrounded about our Kalinago people, could it be that that is a deterring factor?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So this is the no. The no is, as a child, you act as a child, but when you become an adult, you show it childness. So you have the ability to choose. So it's two things. You could either choose history that is paramount to you, or you could choose what the West give you as poison. So it's a choice. You choose not to know about your country and your ancestors. You just leave it. It's sad.
Very.
Because alcohol is in the brain of many of these people and in the guts of these people. They can't say they have a choice. They have choice to go either side, but they refuse to. So the Kalinago tribe right now is mainly, it used to be more than a family.
Sado, I know your work is quite expansive in terms of the Kalinago tribe and the indigenous people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tell me about some of your work.
Some of my work.
Yeah.
Sado, one, I studied trichology. So I deal with scalp and hair. Not again. I used to do it. I removed from that. I go into the essential oil business. And for right now, I deal with herbs and part of my study plants and all like that in Leiden. So for right now, that is what I do. A little bit of farming as well. Grow my own product to make my oil or my powder. And why I grow my own product is because of plenty toxic and poison substance that they use in their food. So I choose not to use that food to make my tea bags or my, oil. So hence I in the farming industry now, doing my own farming to do my own products.
Is your work in any way connected to what your people would have done in the past?
Yes. For one, I grew up, meet my grandparents and my parents not using no chemical at all. And food used to be good. Food used to taste good. Some of these food, we eat them raw. And I could mention some of them that I know that we eat raw. We eat pumpkin and pumpkin bush, pumpkin flowers, right? We eat potato bush, and their flowers as well. Chichira, we eat chichira, green, cook, anyhow you take it. The groundnuts, we cook it just like bread nut, right? So a lot of the food that we use tanya, and we use tanya head, and we use tanya bush. The dasheen head, the dasheen bush, everything like that. So then, if you try to cook a dasheen or tanya head, it's on a different color than the food itself, the nut itself it produces. The dasheen is the same thing. The potato is the same thing. They turn a different color. Some of the banana is the same thing too. First time we could eat with banana, eat the skin, everything. But now it's a difference. And it's because of the chemical that we use in our food. So yes, that is why I choose to go back there. I mean, it's more maintenance, right, to see about your crop, because you have to be inside there to make sure bugs and things. But what we do, we plant other plants along the food line. So these plants could capture worms or flies for them not to go on our produce that we want. That's like what we do. We use chemical. We either use, for instance, we have a problem with the citrus family in St. Vincent now. I don't know for elsewhere, but for St. Vincent. This is what we do. The cinnamon oil that we make, we use that to spray our citrus plants with ashes. That is our own thing. We didn't see it no way. It's just a spiritual thing. Come to it, so we use it. And we see our plants growing healthy now, just like if you give them some good tonic. So we say, well, you know what I mean? we continue with that. So our citrus family that we have planted, like to make our lime oil and our cinnamon oil and things like that, yes, every one of them working good. So the cinnamon is working. Cinnamon oil is, that's what we do.
So we're in Indigenous Peoples Week, and the Department of Culture has a number of activities planned for the week. There's an exhibition, there's this interview with you, there's a social media info series where we educate people on our culture, on our Indigenous people's culture. So the dance would feature punta and these things. What are some of the things that you would like to see done to celebrate the Indigenous people of our country?
Some of the things that I would like to see done to celebrate Indigenous people. One, dancing. You mentioned the punta dance, but it seems like I hear punta dance and I hear some other dances. But what about the cassava dance, right? The cassava bread dance. What about the bonaro dance? And we have lots of dancing, but as I say again, the young people are from the Kalinago people. They forget about these and gone to one major dance now. Everybody doing an African dance, no problem with that. But I think if they fit in some of the other dance, the tribal dance with that, it will be super to have a good mix. It will be who we are, because we all mix up. So we should mix up the dance as well. We should mix up the food as well, because the food is the same thing. We here in the Kalinago tribe, what we do. I think all the food put into Kalinago people. So some of them is the cassava kaki, right? The madongo and rose fish, the cassava rose fish, the gigri juice, the gigri soup, the wiku rum, the wiku bear, and more we do to educate people about the movements of Kalinago and some of the things of Kalinago. We even have the map of St. Vincent with no English, no French, but Kalinago language. If you see a map with St. Vincent, you must know where you're from, so you could pronounce it in the Kalinago language. That's teaching, that's what we do. That's what I would like to see in this month here. But it's not like that. We're supposed to go out more, do some, just like we do for Carnival. For Carnival, you have big parade all over. I think some parade could do around St. Vincent to go here, there, and everywhere to teach people, to show them that, okay, this is Indigenous People Month. These are some of the people, this is how they look, this is what they do, this is survival. And they're still living here, they're still here. They ain't gone nowhere. Although, when I look back at the community where Kalinago people used to reside, I see the old one going and few of the young ones. Hold on. It's kind of sad. Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned cassava dance. Do you know that dance?
I do bonaro dance, cassava bread
but
dance.
Do you think all people are familiar with the dance?
Well, I know some in Sandy Bay. Yeah, a few of them girls in Sandy Bay who know, because I teach them these dance. You know what I mean?
So this is where you come in to teach people this dance so that they are familiar with it, and that we can have these parades and all of those things that you mentioned featuring these dances. What would you do in that regard?
Well, I'm glad I'm doing it, but you see enough people in coming out to do it.
Okay. And you did mention the Indigenous language. Now, I'm not familiar with that, and I'm sure many people are not. How versed are you with this language?
Well, I can say I half fluent with my Kalinago language, because the Kalinago language, is about 18 language make up the Kalinago language. And similar to the Tiano, a few words difference. You know what I mean?
Can you tell me a few words in the Kalinago language?
The Kalinago language, mabriga.
What does that mean?
Mabriga means greetings. Good morning, good afternoon.
So I'm challenging you as well to do your part. I know you're doing your part, but to do more in terms of educating people about the dances you mentioned, the language and so on, because that's the only way we are going to preserve this.
And the food.
And the food as well.
Because the food is important. Because when you look at our food in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a lot of men getting a big belly because of the amount of food that they eat on the roadside. And the same roadside could give you some good food.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you go on the roadside to buy food, you should get some good food instead of all this burn up pork that they have on the street. You know what I mean? Too much burn up pork. Look at some good fish. You know, we have plenty of fish. We're supposed to have plenty of that. Roast fish and dukuna roast fish and breadfruit roast fish and, you know, all these things. It's indigenous to we. So I think we could change that. You should walk down Kaleko or Bagaboo and see the street full with roast fish and some cassava. You know how couple of years from that you won't see no cancer in St. Vincent. But all this sort of thing we using on this pork and sauce, and when it burn, it make problem to every human being on the planet.
Are you aware of any books or any maybe papers and so on that are written about the indigenous people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Yes, I was in Europe once, and as I say, that is European style. You know what I mean? They do and say what they want and write the words. From our context, I have no, but I started. I'm a co-author of books, right? Okay. And I'm glad that I started something like that. In my book, right, that I'm co-author of one of the books, you will find I speak about the last Carib War and how and when and where our people run to hide from the colonizers. So from that, you know what I mean, if some people have to go online to look for it, I think I can't remember, but the book is right here on your right. If you go on that side, you will see it. Now, it will give you a good idea when the colonizers came here, what they do, right? Especially when come to Yambu and from Kalekwa go up Argyle, the burning of Tabuya and Manak houses, what they do and how much sacrifice make they. These are things that we're supposed to know. So I will come back to that, but I had to say this. Visit petroglyphs on the island. People take these things slightly and have them helter-skelter. But these petroglyphs is very important to the indigenous people. And when you pass some of these petroglyphs and you don't know the origin of these things, it's like nothing to you. But for somebody who knows, and if you educate yourself about these things, it will be good. Because some of the colonizers recolonizing now to come back here to take pictures of these petroglyphs to make money on their behalf. I see it. And not explaining truthfully or how these petroglyphs come by or what they represent. You have to know what they represent, because some people think that they all just sitting there like nothing. So one, some of our petroglyphs that you see on the stones, you will see, for instance, a headpiece, just a head. Do you know is a sacrifice take place there? Yeah. Take that one and swallow it good, because you wouldn't get it from nobody else. Some of the colonizers, they know that, but they don't mention that because they're afraid that it will be a disturbance up to this day with you and them. So they come in to recolonize in a different way. So in my teaching, I say this: these things is not to be taken slightly. There are plenty sacrifice that happen here with our people and the intruders, especially up to the head of the island. Because to the head of the island is where they trace most of our people, and the British say they're giving them that to live. It's signed and sealed by the British, but up to this day, the half colonizers who take over from the colonizers who to run the country, and see it fit to say this is the land belongs to the Kalinago people or to the indigenous people. They stay silent with it, and some of them even say, oh, it changed from one lawyer to the next, and all of this story you will find. Up to this day, some of these things is what hinder the education, to educate people the rightful thing. I stray a bit there, but this sometimes happen when you're in this kind of...
Because you're passionate.
Right? So I will fight for that, the language, survival of the Kalinago people, until I know more.
But we've heard about the language and all those other foods and all those other aspects of the culture. What about the people? Do you know of some of the Garifuna, well, not Garifuna, but indigenous people of this country that we should actually know of and celebrate?
So I will say, this should have done some years ago, you know, some years ago, because they didn't have much elders today on the island. Most is young people having children. The elders already, majority probably have 2 elders in Sandy they know. All the elders passed over the rainbow already.
42 elders.
The elders that you will find is one Baptiste and one Francois. Yeah. It maybe have few others, you know what I mean? But these are people that all the rest gone over the rainbow already.
And they've gone with that knowledge, so you see how documentation and preservation is important.
Yes and no, they gone with their knowledge. Let me tell you why I say yes and no. Some of the young people that gain the knowledge from their elders, they're timid because of the stigma that happened. But one like me, I didn't care because I got licks left, right, and center in school for what I say in here. Yeah. So them choose to shut up, not me.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. If you know what they go through, up to this day, it still hurts. It still hurts up to this day. So that is why they don't come out. They know, but they don't come out. But if you have a cruisy corner with them, together with villagers, you will hear some come out up to this day. Yeah. One of the person who speak highly about this kind of thing is Joan Hoyt.
Yes, I know Joan.
If you know Joan Hoyt, when she talks sometimes, water spring out of her eyes when she speak these kind of things.
She's usually at the Garifuna conference.
That's right. So I is one of them too, and it have some more. Not much is like we. They prefer to be silent.
So on Friday, you'll be at the exhibition that the Department of Culture will be hosting. What are some of the things we can expect from you there?
When I go to exhibition, sometimes I like to find out what is it you're exhibiting. So I don't think I get what all they're going to exhibit. So I don't know yet what should I. So
it's just aspects of our culture, indigenous people's culture. And I can see from my vantage point that you have quite a number of things here. So I'm not sure what you'll be exhibiting there.
Yeah, so movements of Kalinago tribe exhibit sometimes take a toll on we. Because if you look at this sometimes, how it is, it's very difficult to move from one place to the next. And for put up some places. So sometimes we ask already for help, and we didn't have help. So it stay here. Hence, why here is like this. Because not much help to put this up and to put it down. We get help one time, we force through and we get some help. So we're there, the only thing from the Kalinago tribe we normally move with is like powder, oil, and some medicine, ancient medicine that we move and put on a table and get there. Sometimes we walk with 3 or 4 artifacts to put there. So maybe according to how it is, we might walk with 3 or 4 artifacts if we have a good table and educate people on that case. That's what we normally do. But on a big scale, like how you see it here, sometimes it's pretty difficult. So that is what you will see, a minor piece of, or small piece of the Kalinago outlay that you see here in the expo or exhibition or what you have there on Friday.
On Friday.
Right, so it will be good. And as usual, I like to dress in my tribal clothes. I like to sing tribal songs. I like to blow my flute. I like to shake my... So most of the time...
Like a showcase then?
Yeah, anytime you see me in these places, you hear my flute before you see me from a distance, or you smell my oil before you even see me. So when most people, when they smell that, they say, Kalinago supposed to be around. So expect that from me, the scent of the Kalinago people. Kalinago people love to see their skin shine and look good. So that is what you will see in my tribal clothes Friday, saying, speaking, singing, blowing my flute.
I'm looking forward to it. It's really been a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Augustine Sutherland, about the indigenous people of our country. I am now more knowledgeable on that subject, talking to you. So I don't know if there's anything else you might want to leave our audience with, so I'm giving you that opportunity to do so.
Okay, I like to see when come to if next year is like that, I like to see a parade of indigenous people, you know what I mean, parading through a village or city, or you know what I mean. Or one time I did plan, right, to seek from the authorities, especially when it comes to National Heroes Day, that you will see warriors certain place in Kingston. You will either find them in the bank, so when people come into the National Bank, they will see one of our icon, you know what I mean, one of our God Kalinago person standing there, and they will feel good to see this is in National Bank and this is one of our. You could see it close to our market, you could see it close to our central police station. This is things to hyper our nation and our visitors about the true identity of who we are. We are not one person. We are different tribes in this nation. So that is what I would like to see.
Well, I trust that the powers would hear your recommendations and will take them into consideration. So thank you again for talking with us, and see you on Friday.
Right, my bigger.
Honoring our past,
Celebrating our present.
inspiring our future.